Hey guys, welcome to Untold Stories, where we look into lost and unreleased comics and comic media and talk about the impact they could have had. I'm Olivia the Archivist, and yeah, this segment wasn't just an April Fool's gag, it was actually a backdoor pilot. Anyway, today I'd like to talk about one of the most popular fan films documented, Spider-Man vs. Kraven from 1974. Now I say this because this was a fan film that actually had support from Marvel, where often fan projects are lucky to even be acknowledged. It also has a lot of information out about it, despite it technically being lost. Allow me to explain. Back in the early 1970s, a film student named Bruce Cardozo wrote a letter to Stan Lee pitching a fan film and asking permission to use Spider-Man and a few characters. Lee approved the project, as long as it was shown at non-commercial venues. Cardozo and a handful of NYU students got to work and made a film adapting the story from Amazing Spider-Man 15, the first appearance of Kraven the Hunter. The film's first screenings were for a group of Marvel employees, including Stan Lee, who all enjoyed the project very much. There were even talks of Marvel distributing the film, but this seems to have just been an empty promise. After that, the film was only screened at conventions, the last time being in 2005. Cardozo was very protective of his work, and although he would show it to people if they were willing to make the journey to visit him for a private screening, he absolutely refused to put it online, which means that with his death in 2015, the film has been essentially lost. This is a shame because I really wish I could see this film. According to various articles, the casting was an arduous process, with Cardozo painstakingly casting actors that looked, sounded, and behaved like what he would thought the characters would really be like, right down to keeping everyone's authentic New York accents. There was also some interesting filming choices used for the Spider-Man scenes. The big one I see documented was the use of matte backgrounds. This tells me that there was a huge amount of care put into this project, and that alone would have made it worth seeing. Now, I do have a theory about why Marvel refused to distribute the movie. My best guess is it has something to do with the rights to the characters. Spider-Man first started appearing in the children's show The Electric Company in the same year. This may have discouraged them from distributing right away so as not to create any confusion about Spider-Man's character, as I suspect the Electric Company's Spider-Man was more child-friendly. This wouldn't be unheard of, as we have up until recently had a Batman embargo for very similar reasons. Immediately after that in 1977, Stan Lee reportedly sold the rights to Spider-Man to CBS, which gave us the first TV movie about Spider-Man and a live-action TV series. The same series that would be retooled for Japanese audiences and give us Spider-Man. Afterwards, there was a gap in the rights, but it seems that there were plans to make a movie, so that would have potentially kept them from wanting to distribute a fan film. Finally, Marvel sold the rights to Spider-Man, Kraven the Hunter, and many other characters to Sony in 1999. And from what I've been reading, it sounds like they've been trying to get Kraven on the big screen since, especially since now the movie is actually supposed to come out this fall. Now, I have no solid evidence of this, but it's the solution that makes the most sense to me. In the dance of character rights tango, Cardozo's film just kept getting its toes stepped on. It's an unfortunate story, but I'm not too surprised. So, what would have happened if this film was shown and distributed more? Well, in the grandest scope, maybe we would have gotten more serious storylines in superhero films sooner. From what we can find, it doesn't seem like they really held back anything from how Kraven operates, so it would have been very interesting in an era that was just starting to get past campy superheroes. It also could have created an interesting standard for how superheroes are portrayed because of the level of casting, but that's probably wishful thinking. Alternate timelines or not, Hollywood is Hollywood, and big stars getting thrown into superhero films was always inevitable. Despite all the speculation I can throw at this, it really doesn't matter. I don't believe Stan Lee or Marvel was really going to do anything with the project, because if they were going to, they would have. Lee greenlit the project for some reason, but I don't think he was expecting anything that impressive out of it. The unfortunate facts of it are that we probably won't know. There aren't many people around still who probably remember this film, and if there are, they're not talking. And unfortunately, we won't ever see this film. At least it's highly unlikely that we will, because wherever any solid copies are, that evidence died with Cardozo. So, that's it. I'm not a lost media tuber or anything like that, so I guess we'll never really know. And I'm sad that we won't, because I'm very curious about how this movie looked or what it would have been like. But all we've got now are these pictures. On that unfortunate note, thank you for listening to Untold Stories, and I hope you guys will return soon for another episode. Thanks for listening. Bye.